Good morning. Good morning. Shabbat Shalom. It is wonderful to see so many familiar faces and to be joined by so many new friends on the 40th anniversary of the Republican Jewish Coalition. As RJC's national chairman, I know that I stand on the shoulders of giants, and I hold them in my thoughts and prayers as we celebrate our 40th anniversary this year. We have a full presentation this evening celebrating the 40 years of the RJC, but I'm looking around. I want to recognize two of our titans in this room. It's George Klein, original founder of the RJC, and Cheryl Halpern, one of the early chairmen of the RJC. George and Cheryl, if you please stand, I want you to be recognized. I call George my rabbi. He is so wise. He has been wise, and not wise because you got old, George. Wise, you've always been wise. But I really do. I stand on the shoulders of giants. Together, you have helped lead the way. And George once said, he used to say that the first early meetings of the RJC, you could have held this gathering in a phone booth. And today, well, George, look around. 100,000 strong throughout the country. We have come a long way. And I will say this in the beginning, and you'll hear it many times, but if there was ever a time for the RJC, this is our time. We have been called to this moment to fight the scourge of anti-Semitism, to stand strong in the U.S.-Israel relationship. So George and Cheryl and all those who preceded me, joined me, I thank you on behalf of our entire organization. I see the great one here, Mark Levin. We love you, Mark. You fire me up every week. Every day, actually, you fire me up. So it's a pleasure to be here with all of you this weekend to celebrate. There's so much for us to be thankful for. All of the living, courageous hostages that were held cruelly for 2 years in the brutal tunnels of Gaza are home in the glorious embrace of their families. I'm sure many of you have spent the last few weeks watching with tears the joyful videos of Israel's resilient heroes reuniting with their loved ones. It has been a deeply emotional time for world Jewry. It's our fervent hope and prayer that this ceasefire holds and that Israel's long national nightmare is finally over. The war that Hamas started on October 7th is over as long as Hamas disarms and can no longer be a threat to Israel and the Jewish people. Do we really expect them to disarm voluntarily? And as President Trump has said, if they do not disarm, we will have no choice but to go in and kill them all. In spite of the naysayers, the doubters, the haters, the resolve of the Jewish people, the brave soldiers of the IDF, and Israel's unbreakable spirit has prevailed. And how about a round of applause for Prime Minister Netanyahu? Bibi, we love you. By the way, I take a note of personal pride. Bibi's maternal grandparents came from Minnesota. They have these good roots. I told his family you would. Yeah. Bibi has shown the world what steadfast and unwavering leadership looks like in the face of pure evil. He has defended the Jewish state on the international stage with a moral clarity that will be remembered in the history books for centuries to come. From my frequent trips to Jerusalem and meetings with Bibi, I can tell you firsthand that every challenge and triumph, our friendship is one that I deeply, deeply cherish. There is a mutual understanding that when our allies in Israel look to the United States, they see the RJC standing with them. They see, and we see in them, not just a leader, but a true champion, a friend. We love Bibi Netanyahu. And we know just how much of the credit for this giant step forward towards peace belongs to our trailblazing President Donald J. Trump, the best friend that Israel has ever had in the White House. He and his incredible team of Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner achieved the impossible. Their Herculean efforts and unwavering commitment to secure a comprehensive plan for Gaza has not only brought a beautiful opportunity for peace to Israel, but paved the way to expand the circle of peace in the Middle East. The hero's welcome that President Trump received in Israel and the rapturous applause throughout his remarks at Knesset leaves no doubt. As Prime Minister Netanyahu said, Donald J. Trump is the greatest friend the state of Israel has ever had in the White House. No American president has done more for Israel, and it isn't even close. I will tell you, we're not into saints, okay? But if we were, the first saint out of the box in Israel would be Saint Donald. I have to tell you that. No question about that. President Trump's love of Israel and the Jewish people will be emblazoned in our hearts and minds and inscribed in the annals of history forever. And of course, none of this would have been possible if not for President Trump's miraculous and decisive victory in the 2024 election. Elections have consequences. And that miracle was supported by so many people in this room. It was your hard work and your relentless efforts that helped secure Republican victories across the country. The Republican-Jewish coalition, as I said, was built for these inflection points in the history of our people and the United States of America. From Arizona to Pennsylvania to Michigan to right here in Nevada, the RJC worked tirelessly to move even more American Jews to the Republican Party. And we succeeded. President Trump received the highest share of Jewish vote of any Republican over 40 years, helping to deliver the White House, deliver Republican majorities in the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives. We like to say that the RJC punches above our weight, but there's no doubt now that we are a political heavyweight. I like being a heavyweight in that regard. Together, we changed the course of history. Can you imagine where we would be if Kamala Harris had won? A terrifying prospect. The work of the RJC continues. We operate at one speed, determined, relentless, and unafraid. November 26th may feel like it's in the distant future, but we know the Democrats have already hit the ground running and are fundraising heavily for the midterm elections. And historically, the incumbent president's party loses a significant number of seats in those midterm elections. They know that to block the Republican agenda and President Trump's efforts to make America great again, they must take back control of Congress. Maintaining the majority for Speaker Johnson in the House and Leader Thune in the Senate is our top priority next year. We will win. We have to win. If the Democrats take back the win, take back the House, the Senate, or both, it's abundantly clear that they work to enact the most progressive, radical, leftist agenda this country has ever seen. They will pack the Supreme Court. They will add citizenship for, 10 million marks, 20 million, how many? Who knows? Take a look now at New York City, Zohran Mamdani, who represents the absolute worst of the worst. The squad of Bernie Sanders, AOC, Ilhan Toma, Rashida Tlaib, or as we like to call them, the Hamas caucus, okay, now has a teammate in Zohran Mamdani. And make no mistake, Zohran Mamdani in today's Democratic Party is not the Democratic Party of the past. It is a threat to the safety of the Jewish Americans in this country. And it's not just the extreme of the party anymore. The extreme of the party is now the mainstream of the Democrat Party. And of course, this weekend, you will hear from an exceptional group of speakers who articulate our party's optimistic vision for the future and reflect on the historic achievements that we have brought about together. I thank you all for being here at this historic event and for your incredible support for the RJC. God bless you. God bless Israel. God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Have a great day.